We return now to the other major story of today, the impact of Hurricane Florence, whose death toll has now reached 21. In North Carolina, the rain kept coming today, threatening to cut off roads and bridges in towns, cities, and counties for days, maybe even weeks. William Brangham continues his reporting, focusing on the city that has been the hardest hit.
As we reported earlier, the city of Wilmington is largely cut off from the outside world. Waters have flooded nearly every entrance to the city, stranding most of the city's 120,000 people. Earlier this afternoon, I spoke with Wilmington's mayor, Bill Saffo, to get a sense of how things were going.
We are getting some supplies in here. We're airlifting some medical supplies, and we're airlifting some food supplies in here for the shelters. And we've got a truckload that was brought in here using with trucks that could get through high water. We've got 20 trucks in here and brought in some food and some water and some fuel into the area, which is desperately needed at this time. The roads coming into the city, into the county, are still impassable. We expect the river to crest tomorrow at about midday. And then after the river crests, we feel that we'll be able to access some routes into the city, but we still have to expect those roadways to assure they're stable and they're good to drive over. Power is being reestablished as we speak, but it is spotty in different areas of the city.
How many residents in Wilmington are still in the dark right now?
I would probably say 80%, let's just say 90% of the city is still without power. But we were slowly getting there. But our main priority, of course, was to establish power to the hospital, make sure the hospital had power, our police stations, fire stations had power, our emergency operations center had power. So those were our first priorities. And then from there is getting power to some of the grocery stores, making certain some of our commercial corridors have some power so we can get some grocery stores reopened. Obviously, we've got people that haven't been able to go to the grocery store for over a week. And, of course, trying to get some fuel seems to be one of the main things that we currently need right now, because of the people that have been running generators for quite some time, and they're running out of fuel.
Mayor, are there active rescues still going on in Wilmington?
I think the vast majority of people that needed to be rescued have been rescued. We're getting a lot of calls from medical calls currently, but we will still get the occasional rescue call to come out here and get me from my house. I think what you're going to see in the coming days is a significant amount of flooding in the surrounding areas. We know that each of our rivers that are coming into the Cape Fear, all of those rivers are going to experience record flood stages.
I know there's a curfew currently in Wilmington right now. What is your message to residents? What have you been telling them about hanging on?
The first thing we're telling is we had a lot of people that evacuated the area, heeded the warnings of the emergency management officials, and left the area. Obviously, we have a lot of those folks that want to come back to their homes, get back to the city, check on their property, and we're telling them don't come until you've heard from us whether the roads are passable. There's no need to even try, because you're going to be turned away by the highway patrol. That's number one. Number two, we're telling our citizens, for the most part, stay on your property, stay at your home if possible. I know a lot of people are getting a little stir crazy at this point in time because they haven't been out and about for days. Just please stay put until we can get these roadways cleared of debris and it's safe for you to go out and walk around, because we've got a lot of power lines that are entangled with a lot of the debris in our neighborhoods. And what has happened is we're coming across some wires that are hot, and we don't want anybody to get hurt or electrocuted. What we have found historically is that we lose a lot of life during hurricanes after the event passes. And so I caution folks that when you're getting out in the community or getting out in your neighborhood, be very cautious of down power lines, be very cautious of down trees, because there may be a power line that is entangled within it that you may not be able to see. So we want to lift the curfew as soon as possible, but we also don't want to do it and jeopardize somebody's safety. So we've got it in place again this evening. And then it's just, a slow grind getting this thing cleaned up and getting electricity turned back on and getting, the staples of life back here. what has really hit us hard here is that the storm sat over us for 2 straight days and just dumped a tremendous amount of water on us and rain.
All right, Bill Saffo, mayor of Wilmington, North Carolina, thank you very much.
Thank you.